So, my 5-year story. Most of you know me as the crazy personal trainer, all this stuff from social media. But it's a very big story behind it, and I think it's very interesting. So, I think if I inspire one person out of this story, that's a huge win. So, here's the thing. I moved in Canada in 2013, November. So, I finished the high school in 2013, the summer. In June 2013, then I moved in Canada in November 2013. But what's very interesting, actually, before to move in Canada, you have to take the visa. Actually, I took a few notes here, so I make sure that I don't forget anything. So, me and my mom, we had to wait for the visa 3 years, almost 4, to get the visa, right? You get a visa to come to Canada. So there's again a lot of doubt, right, and overthinking. Okay, is the actual visa gonna come? Is this gonna work? Are we actually gonna be able to make this huge move? Because just me and my mom. I don't have any brothers and sisters, and I grew up just me and my mom. I've never actually met my dad, right? I guess they separated when they were younger. But I grew up around a big family. I've had a lot of cousins, uncle, aunts, so there was a lot of support around them. That was the thing. And another interesting is, before to come in Canada, I was in a relationship. My longest relationship, 11 months. So it was a very serious relationship. So coming to Canada, we had to break up. So again, that was very, very hard. Then I moved in Canada. Okay. Now I wanted to be around sport. I mean, I've been growing around sport. I'm gonna make another video regarding this. When I was young, I was overweight, like really, really fat, basically. Then underweight. Then I started playing sport. It's a big story. I'm gonna make another video. So I came in Canada end of 2013. I was like, okay, I gotta do something. Keep in mind that I came here with no driver license or work experience, because all I did in Romania was a high school and sport, the rugby and kickboxing. So I was like, okay. Then after a few months, my mom got a job. She is a social worker. So she got a job, she got a car, she was good. But me, I had to do something. So when I came here in Canada, I knew 3 people. My mom and her 2 best friends. So her 2 best friends introduced me to a program called Express to Success. So it's a program in Langley that now I'm actually part of it. After 5 years, I'm part of it, so I'm giving back to them. I'm teaching the young people and share my story with them and encourage them. So this program, they actually pay you to be there. So they learn how to write an email, how to apply for a job, how to dress for an interview and all that stuff, all the little details. So that helped me a lot, and I was getting paid for it. So think, new in Canada, getting paid to go for a course. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So I was there it's a 3-month program, so 6 weeks you learn all these things. Then the other 6 weeks you do practice at the store. So actually my first official job was at American Eagle. I was doing like sales and carrying clothes and all that stuff. So after 3 months there, I was like, okay, I want to stay more with American Eagle because it's safe, right? But then American Eagle, they're like, we don't need you. We don't want you anymore. I was like, okay. Now I gotta go apply for a job. So, but because I learned there how to apply for a job, then I was able to apply for a job. So after I finished at American Eagle, for a month, all I did was making phone calls, walking around, taking the bus, looking for a job. So after I applied at 30 places and not getting any really response for a month, I was like anxious. I was like, okay, what's going on here? Then a place called me. One place out of 30 places or 31 places was a stone company, Patra Stone in Cloverdale, where you do a lot of polishing and marble. So that's what I did from 2014 to 2015, right? And of course, first thing when I came in Canada, I mean, after a few months, I applied for L, for the driver license, because I didn't have. So until I got my A and being able to drive my own, I had to wait. So I was walking and taking the bus somewhere, I mean, to where I had to go. So I learned everything, how to polish. I started with the minimum wage, like $12, but every 2 months I was getting $1 increase. So after a year, I was making $18 an hour. And I was working long hours, like sometimes 15, 16. I had to do whatever it takes. I didn't have any option. So of course I wanted to work longer because I wanted the money, right? I had to take something. So, I mean, the truth is I was hating the job. like I was trying to be grateful because I have a job and I have an opportunity. That was the only choice. I didn't have any other choices, so I had to do the job. But the truth, like, I wanted to become a personal trainer. I wanted to live a good lifestyle. I didn't want to be dirty, tired, eating the sandwich, you know, at the edge of the street and waiting. You know what I mean? In that environment, you cannot really grow in that environment. So I was trying to be grateful, but I was hating. I was like, okay, when is it gonna become my day to do what I want? Because that was my vision. I want to be this known with this famous entrepreneur that I am today, and I'm working even more. So here's the thing. After a year, I broke my back. One day, I pull a heavy stone, then I hear something on the back. Then I fall on the ground. I couldn't breathe. So I had to do the therapy. So I was off work. Of course, I couldn't work because I was injured. So I did physiotherapy, chiropractic, all the therapies for like 3-4 months. That was the darkest moment in my life. These 3-4 months, from like after 1 year working there, I got in so much pain, so much depression. But I had one of my best friends, Suki, who actually got me to the gym, to Steve Nash. I was actually a member there. So he was a lot of support. He was driving me sometimes around right after we became friends. But here's the thing, I was in a lot of pain. Then after some time, I got a bit better, but I was still not that good. I was still in pain. So I got with the money saved, I got a car, and then I applied for the personal training school. So I got the license, I got the car, and then I went to the school. I was still in pain. And who actually helped me was Chad Benson, the teacher at the school. He is this master of science, so in like 2 weeks he fixed me with the joint alignment and all that stuff. And that's where my obsession for fitness came, from that injury, because I was like, how can I fix myself? I just want to be better. I just want to move because I wasn't be able to move. And this guy Chad helped me like 2 weeks, engage the core, all this joint alignment that they don't teach in the traditional therapy. All I had is to learn how to move better. So then I went to the school. After 7 weeks I graduated, I got a certification. Then I applied in Steve Nash Fitness World, Langley. So in 2016, beginning, I got the job. So I became a personal trainer there. And all I did is taking certification after certification. Courses, seminars. I probably took over 25 courses and seminars in like 2 years. All I wanted is like, how do I become better? How do I get to understand the body? And I had to get the knowledge and then apply it. So that's all I did. Taking courses. I was there working 6 days a week, early, late at night, and introducing myself. All I did is like show up and introducing myself. Hey, my name is Cezar. I'm a personal trainer. Let me know if you need any help. So that's where I got my name out there. That's where I got known and get to know a lot of people at the Langley location, as there are like hundreds and thousands of members. But keep in mind, there was a lot of there. Every time there are like 15 to 20 trainers there. So in order to be successful, you gotta do something different. So I guess what I was different is like my confidence, my ability to go out there, break the ice, and just letting people know that I'm there and I'm available for them. So that takes courage, right? That in order to be successful, you gotta have the courage. You need the courage. You need the courage to invest in yourself. You need the courage to show up and introduce yourself. Because at the end, you do business with people. You gotta be people's people. Unless you have a bigger team or something like that. But even if you are the boss or you are trying to be a boss, you gotta interact with people. So that's what I was doing. I was there, introducing myself, training clients, get them results, and get a name out there, and also posting on social media. So, and then in like 2 years, I was there at Stinesh for 2.5 years, and then over the years, I've won all the awards, from like dinners, T-shirts, MVP, Trainer of the Month, vacation to Hawaii, awards, all this stuff. But I also got the title of a master trainer. So Steve Nash, I think is the most popular brand of fitness in British Columbia, right? They're the biggest, they dominate in today's market, right? They're good at what they do. Of course, nobody's perfect at the end, but they're very good at they do, as marketing, as trainer development and all that stuff. And there are around 400 personal trainers there in BC, from like Victoria to Kelowna. out of 400 personal trainers, they selected at one point, they wanted to get this level of master trainer. So out of 400 personal trainers, I was one of the only 15 master trainers. And all the other trainers, they're like late 20s or early 30s. I was the only one 23-year-old master trainer. So again, that gave me a lot of confidence, but it's because I was showing up, I was presenting myself, and I was getting results to the club and of course to the people. So that got me to the master trainer. So I've achieved everything every time I wanted to become next level, right? And also social media helps a lot because the expansion out there. But after 2.5 years of working at a company, Stefash, I learned everything. Like I learned like business, like how to actually teach a client, how to understand people, and all that stuff, all the certification. So that's what made me, and of course other self-development that I choose to do. And then last summer in 2018, I decided to go on my own. Right? I just felt, and I needed some time off. I was dealing with something personal, and I was like, okay, I just need some time for myself. So I took a month off, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on my own. So I was like full-time. I've always kind of been full-time. I never had that issue. But I was like, okay, it's time for a change. So I took a month off, and because I was there, Stephen Ash, every day showing up on social media, I got to know some people that they're supporting me even today. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So I was like, okay, I gotta find a gym. So I trained people at. So now I'm in a partnership with Snap Fitness in Cloverdale. I don't work for them, I work with them. So I just rent the space and I have my own clients. But I have my own brand, which is Bodyworks Pro. So I run the programming, the system the way I want, and I get the clients' results that they want. So yeah, and now, you know, being self-employed is like, I like it much better. It's so much freedom, and I like to do the things the way I want it, and I know it works for me. And now being self-employed, I was like few months into being self-employed again. I kind of started from zero again, because not really none of my clients came with me from the previous gym, right? Because maybe the distance a little bit, it's a bit further, the convenience and all that stuff. So I was like, okay. But because I got the result, because I knew so many people, I got a lot of support from my previous clients, that they were sending me new clients and introducing me to people so I can build my business again, because they knew my passion and my intention for fitness, and I can get them results. And now later, then they came again to train with me. So after a few months on my own, again, I'm like full-time. But now I'm like, okay, what's the next step? How do I expand myself? How can I help more people? How can I be more known? And how can I get more people to know? Because you know what? I love attention, man. Like I have an addiction for attention. I want more people to know me. I want to be known by more people. I want to know more people. And you know, it makes me feel good when I get compliments. Like I love compliments, and I get attention from like face-to-face social media. So I'm like, how can I get more attention? Like, you know, like, and attention, right? Like being outstanding, it drives that attention, like attention from people. Because again, in whatever business you are, you do business with people. If you don't have attention from people, who are you gonna have attention from? Fruits, right? So I was like, okay. Then I grow my team, and now also on the team, it's a female trainer, Kelly, where we work together. And I also got more in online, because again, after a few months, I'm like full-time trainer, but I was like, how can I expand more? How can I help more people? So that's why I'm expanding the team, and then also online, right? Because at the end, face-to-face is the only limited people that you can train, and I can help, and I can have an impact. But online, truly unlimited. So that's what I'm working on more now. Like I'm getting more online. I want to help more people. I want to get known by more people. And yeah, you know, this is my story. Like every year is so different. I mean, keep in mind, I'm in my early 20s. I'm 25 years old now. What else do I have better to do? I don't have a kid. I don't have a wife. I gotta make my mama proud, right? I mean, she's proud of me, of course, but I gotta make her more proud. And you know, my mom knows that, like, I got it. Like, she knows that I got it. But I'm always like, how do I get better? because there's so much that you can learn out there, and especially in these days with social media, like you can take courses, you can go from here to here way faster, you can be more efficient. So I'm I'm always like, okay, how do I get to the next level? How do I make myself better so I can make others better? I'm like, it's about growing, right? And like at the end, like right now, like I achieved everything I wanted, basically. Like today, I'm exactly where I wanted 5 years ago. But again, you cannot let yourself being too comfortable. You always have to think to the next level. Even with my clients, when they get into a certain point with their goals, I was like, okay, let's make a next goal. Let's make a bigger goal. Let's get you better, right? As a person, as a human, but also mentally, spiritually, and of course physically. Because when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you get more things done, right? So this is like another thing when I was working for the stone company, when I was talking with other people, like, because I was telling them that I'm not happy, right? Or like they were like, oh yeah, maybe you should do, or even become a personal trainer, because at the very beginning I didn't have that many clients, and I was talking with some of my friends or people that I know. I was telling them, yeah, I'm not that busy, I'm still looking, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe you should change your job, maybe you should do something else. Instead of saying, okay, is finance your true passion? Yes. Okay, do you have a system how to get better? That's what if you tell somebody that you are not too happy, sometimes you don't need to change the career or the domain. You gotta change the goals, the structure, so you get truly where you want to be. You don't need to change your careers. If you have the passion for fitness or for whatever industry, go for it. But go to the next level properly. And you cannot go by yourself. You need people, dude. You need people. You need to know people. Like meet them. I love meeting new people, because the more people I know, the more access to more information I have. More information, I think, is good. It's good to know more than to know less, right? And then you have options from what information you can apply to. Makes sense? So that's why, like me, I've always wanted to be known. I want to be a star, dude. I don't to live a small life, like limited. I want to live big. I want to be known big. I want to live a big life, because to me it appears that successful people know a lot of people, have access to a lot of things, and so far that's what I've been doing, and it's great. But again, like in order to be successful wherever, you need a clarity that you gotta show up. You need to show up, you gotta introduce yourself, you gotta be present face to face and or on social media. Yeah, you people, because when doesn't matter what business you do, in whatever business you do business with people, whether it's an automation, face to face, online, you need people. You gotta understand people. You gotta have the right intentions, because karma exists. If you have the right intentions and you do the right things, you might win on a short term, but long term, you're gonna lose, and it's gonna come back. I've experienced myself, of course. We all try things and do these mistakes, but that's one thing that I don't play with karma, because the universe, karma is like that's why, like, things happen. Like sometimes I feel that the universe slaps me. They're like, dude, Cezar, wake up, dude. People need you. Because some people, just like I needed some specific people in my life to help me. That's why some people need me for specific reasons. And I feel that I have a gift. And so the truth is that sometimes I get distracted, or maybe sometimes have self doubts, because maybe social media, I mean, not maybe, social media can be a big distraction, but with social media, you need to use social media, not be used by social media. Even maybe used for personal reasons or business. You gotta be very, very aware of how you feel by some certain things or actions or anything like that. Let me see if I have any notes. I love attention. Okay, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, with like, of course you get it. Like, fitness is still a passion, it's an obsession. But of course, as you know, I love the dancing, I love fashion, and fighting. Right, like, kickboxing. So that's why a lot of people come to me to train for kickboxing. The thing with the kickboxing, I've done so many sports over the years, every sport almost, but it's something unique about martial arts. The way it makes you feel, like it gives you more confidence, it gives you more hope. That's why even in the bad times, one of the things that helped me get to the next level and where I wanted to be, beside keeping that vision, I want to be there, it's exercising. And boxing specifically, like when you move here, like you have the confidence, it trains your mind more sharp, it makes you more alert and aware. So yeah, a lot of people come to me sometimes just for kickboxing because they know the benefits, or they just think that it's cool. So yeah, and I love fighting. I like the thing I like challenging myself. Maybe with a course, maybe with just a goal and a fight. I like challenging myself because I think a lot, right? Like I think I can be there, and sometimes you need a challenge. Okay, can you actually do it? How close, how far are you from actually the target?